Okay, so formally, welcome to marketing and use of social media to communicate with your unit. Let's get started. So what I'm going to talk to you about is what you can use social media for to help your unit better communicate with families and potential families. So do any of you have a unit with social media already? Even if it's your district, probably most of you. Do you have one specific person that manages it or a group of people?
Group.
A good group. How often are you posting there? Do you know?
Probably when we only have major events take place.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's
We post pretty often for our 709 troop page.
mhm.
For 437, not as much, mainly because I get busy.
Yeah.
But if they
Okay.
have events, then other people post too, which is great.
That is great. So you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're sharing the fun stuff that your units are doing and the interesting things that you're doing and kind of showcasing what your scouting program is all about. That's great. That's what this is for. All right. So why are we using social media? For all of those reasons. We're making connections. We're communicating important information. We're building a strong unit, promoting the program of scouting for the purpose of recruitment, and also letting our general communities know what it is that we're doing because scouting happens every single day. That is a great way to let everybody know what scouting is about. We need to communicate in ways that are effective for the people that we serve. Everyone is super busy, and I'm sure your habit of social media is like mine. You open it up and you scroll and scroll and scroll. And if something doesn't immediately catch your attention, you're probably not going to sit there and read it or look through it. So bite-sized, timely, clear communications, using the technology that parents are already using and taking advantage of social media, which is free, readily available. Everyone's using it. So, of course, when you think social media, probably the first platform you consider is Facebook. So who uses it? 25% of the world's population uses Facebook as their primary social media platform. 2.1 billion users are active on that platform every single day. 54% of Facebook users are using it to research brands and organizations. And it is also accounting for 65% of all website traffic referrals. So globally, Facebook is the favorite social media platform for men between the ages of 24 and 35. A little different, the Heart of Virginia Council's Facebook page is viewed most often by women, 35 to 54. Those are the decision makers. They're the moms. Moms are all over our Facebook page, which is great because that's our top performer, and those are the decision makers. There's two different types of Facebook pages that you can create for your unit. Open public-facing Facebook pages. Those are great for recruitment and community engagement. Then you have closed private Facebook groups, which are great for sharing photographs with the rest of the members of your pack or your troop. If you want to maybe post photos of scouts, but those scout families aren't comfortable with you sharing photographs of their children on social media, a great way to keep your pack or your troop in the know is to have a closed group as well, and just make sure that if there's children in that group, if you're a troop and you have scouts in that troop, closed group, that it's not just one adult in there at any given moment, that you're not communicating one-on-one with any youth. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but that's one thing to consider when creating a closed private group is youth protection. So on those public-facing pages, you're going to use photos and videos that grab a user's attention. Text posts are not eye-catching enough on their own, and oftentimes people will ignore them. On Facebook, oftentimes if your text is small enough, short enough, you can kind of use a background image and it makes like fancy text, and that catches a user's attention better than just plain text. So if you can, use a photo or a video. Otherwise, try using that Facebook kind of like text decoration post type that they allow. I'm going to move my screen up a little bit because I've just blocked all of my text. So each year, the Heart of Virginia Council creates events for our individual joint scouting nights. Now we're almost entirely through those, but at one point we had hundreds and hundreds of joint scouting night events on our Facebook page. So in the future, there are still a few available there now, but if there are still events that your unit will benefit from, if you're going to be hosting that Joint Scouting Night, go ahead and share that to your own page. Tag the schools that you serve in your posts, and try to get that event under the eye of people who are attending that school, who have children going to that school. Share those recruitment posts to your neighborhood pages and your local community pages that are utilized by your audience. There's lots and lots of moms all over the neighborhood pages. Those are a great resource. You can also use other platforms such as Nextdoor to share your Facebook content on, specifically recruitment stuff. If you've got to join Scouting Night, you can get on Nextdoor and target specific neighborhoods, and let them know that, hey, our local school has this cool Join Scouting Night. Come on out there. I'll be out there. We're recruiting for boys and girls, these ages, etc. It goes over well. This is kind of a council, like, we love this so much, but over here on the side, there's a link to a great tutorial by Isaac Otero. He's our special events executive. He sort of accidentally went viral on YouTube a few years ago, creating a Nextdoor tutorial that I highly suggest everybody clicks on this link, and goes and watches it. It's incredible. It is so very Isaac in the best possible way. And like I said, it just went crazy viral on YouTube. Some things get picked up, some things don't. Next most popular, of course, is Instagram. Does anybody have an Instagram page or account for their unit by chance?
Not our group, but I do have one.
You do? Well, that's fun. That makes sense because dads are the ones that are on Instagram, for council, for all of our communications. So 47% of American adults are using Instagram. Users spend an average of 12 hours a month on Instagram, which doesn't seem like that much. It's 33 minutes a day, but that's actually quite a bit considering the format of Instagram. 58% of their users are using this platform to research brands and organizations. They're there to find out what we're all about. 10.5% of the web traffic referrals come from Instagram. So if there's a link on an Instagram page, they're going to follow that to your website, or, a lot of units have a web page nowadays. It links back to your website where there's more information. That's amazing. 50.6% of worldwide Instagram users are men 18 to 34. Our page is viewed overwhelmingly by men, 35 to 54. That's where the dads are. And I've noticed a lot of our registered leaders are also on Instagram, which that also makes sense. So sometimes you're communicating to people who are already very much in the program through Instagram, but it's a great opportunity to share event information. For instance, I share a lot of, hey, this is the training that's coming up, knowing that that's our target audience on Instagram are the dads, 35 to 54, and some recruitment materials as well. And a lot of just really cool, this is what Scouts are doing, showcasing the program. So you can sort of cater your content around those audiences. Again, Instagram is meant for sharing photos and videos. You can't really just create a text post on Instagram. So just about everything is eye-catching there, which means that the content that you put out has to be even more exciting, or else it's just another post on Instagram. The cool thing about Instagram and Facebook is that if you're using the Meta platform, you can easily post content on both Facebook and Instagram at the same time. You can also schedule posts ahead of time. So if it's a busy Scout week and you want to make sure that you don't forget to tell people that you have a PAC meeting coming up, or Pinewood Derby is on Saturday, then you can schedule posts well in advance and off they go at the date and time of your choice. It is so nice. It saves me an awful lot of time in my job at council. On both, you can just easily tag organizations like us at council, Scouting America, etc. That casts a wider net on the content that you're sharing, so it gets the attention of more people. And of course, hashtags. Hashtags are king on social media, but especially on Instagram. You can use them to connect your content with a wider range of users and organizations, and have your content indexed by that website, which means that it's a lot easier for you to then go find. One thing that I have noticed is if you ask questions or create a call to action on your social media posts, you're going to get more activity. I tried it out earlier this week. We had local council request that we share some wood badge course information for them, and that they would then in turn share our wood badge course information. And I attempted to see what kind of hashtags would get that information out to a broader audience. I didn't quite hit the mark on it, but there are other posts. For instance, it's in here as an example that I'll show you later. There was an article shared by Longwood about two scouts that have been best friends since Cub Scouts, and they were Eagles, went off to their freshman year at Longwood this year. And the hashtags in that post made it go viral. So just finding the right ones that work. I'll talk to you a little bit about how to structure those so that they work best for you. But hashtags are king. If you have an Instagram account, make sure you're using hashtags. This just reiterates a little bit. Hashtags can help you get your post seen by a greater audience. Start with the most popular high-level hashtags first, and then work your way down. So, for instance, a post made about a Pinewood Derby event will hit a larger audience if you first tag hashtag Scouting America, then Cub Scouts, then, for instance, Pack 521, etc. And so down here, I have a nice little stack of hashtags that this is the structure that you should consider when you're putting these on at the end of Facebook or Instagram or any social media posts. Start big and whittle your way down. Okay. Of course, social media is a super powerful recruitment tool. The more personal you make it, the more exciting it is for the people who are looking at your content. So photos and videos, I cannot stress this enough. For recruitment events specifically, the following are the most effective hashtags that you can use. This comes from my personal research with council and also research that National has performed. These are the best hashtags that you can use for recruitment. So of course, Scouting America all the way down to Join Scouting. That's going to do it for you. That will cast a very wide net and hit the people that you want for those posts to hit. So I gave this training recently at a Dogwood District roundtable, and a question came up about sharing personal photos. And there are scouts and their families who do not want to be included on public facing social media posts. So that's something that we as leaders need to be very, very mindful of. Of course, when you fill out your med form, your medical record, there's a photo release on there. And it is the tiniest print of all tiny prints, and it gets lost. And a lot of times people don't realize that they have even signed off on a photo release. So just for the sake of being mindful of other people and being kind and friendly, make sure that you ask, is it okay for me to take a photograph? And if you've taken a photograph, is it okay for me to share this publicly on social media? Because a photo of even scouts from behind doing something where you can't see faces, for instance, that is just as effective as scouts smiling at the camera. It's all about the action. So keep that in mind. Just some quick policies and guidelines that, kind of best practices for social media. Go ahead and it's a lot of fine print, but review the terms of service for each platform. Sometimes there are just some small things in there that we've got to be mindful of. If scouts are participating on your platforms, I just mentioned this, abide by 2Deep leadership at all times. No private messages, no one-on-one contact with scouts. Scouts and adults should follow the internet safety guidelines and personal protection rules. We've all taken the Safeguarding Youth training, I hope. If not, we're still sitting there with active youth protection training in place, but we need to make sure that we are following those things. Social media makes it all too easy to just receive a private message and respond to it, or see a comment and respond to it. But, we have to protect our youth, and social media is unfortunately one place where they're extremely vulnerable. And it's up to us as trained adult leaders to make sure that we are keeping them safe. Scouting America has social media guidelines in place for you. This is the link and the QR code for it. It's a great resource that I suggest you take some time if you're going to get into social media for your unit to go ahead and read and just be aware of. And also monitor your platforms. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people, for instance, just as an example, when I post images still to this day that have female Cub Scouts, oftentimes there will be comments that are unsavory, to say the least. And so just make sure that you're monitoring your platforms, because we don't want to have content pop up that is hurtful or harmful or, just
Inappropriate.
unbelievably inappropriate. Exactly. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring that. I'm not a big fan of deleting things unless it is necessary because it's inappropriate like that. Sometimes we'll receive comments on the council page that's just someone just being kind of negative, and I'll just leave it there. And more often than not, after a little while, they'll come back and they'll delete it themselves. They just needed to vent and then they get it out of their system. I have found that deleting every last thing that seems negative or what have you backfires sometimes, then it makes it worse. So just monitor it and be mindful of the things that are popping up in your comments and take the action that you feel is necessary on those things. The golden rule of social media is to engage. So once you've started, keep it going. Engage with your community, respond to the comments, and the messages that you receive as quickly as you can, and post regularly. Regularly is whatever is regular for your unit. So, I know Sarah had said one unit posts all the time, one every so often. As long as that's what's normal for your unit, stick to it. But regularly inviting new families to follow your pages, interact with the posts that you're making and interact with the people that are commenting. And also inviting other community members to like and follow your social media channels is going to grow your group very, very quickly and get your word out to a much broader group. It's pretty cool. And it also helps if you are, for instance, there are scouts at Green Top right now selling popcorn and peanuts. And I just shared their little video that they made out front of the storefront, just saying, it's rain or shine, come out and get some popcorn with us today. And it's at Green Top, and they tagged Green Top. And that little tiny thing, that little tiny move there is going to get that video out to a whole lot of people, because Green Top has huge social media following. It was brilliant. It was just so easy to do. It was real smart. Don't let your content go stagnant. I was so bummed out the other day. I have a group that I like very much on other social media, and I went to their Facebook page and it hadn't been updated since 2022. And I was so sad because they're all over everything else. And I thought for sure, since I'm on Facebook all the time, that's where they would be. Nope, they're stagnant. And it was disappointing. So don't let that happen. Be consistent. Consider a calendar just to help you and possibly your co-administrator stick to your messaging, especially right now at fall recruitment time. It's really important. Just about every Tuesday and every Thursday, for instance, right now, early in the morning, we're sharing our Play for Real posts about fall recruitment, and just having that consistency that every Tuesday at that time and every Thursday at that time is getting that message out to a lot more people. If you are able to, if you have insight reporting on your social media, check it out. Learn more about your audience and what content it is that they seem to enjoy the most, and then make more content like that. This is going to also help you to plan for better promotions and better content in the future. If you haven't been there, the Scouting America Recruitment Center has a sample social media calendar built for recruitment season. It is fantastic, and I highly suggest you going and checking it out. It's easy to use. They put graphics and everything in it so that you can just pull from there. And of course, share what I'm putting out on our council page too, because that's perfectly curated for Heart of Virginia Council. Does anybody have any graphic design background? Is that something that kind of overwhelms you a little bit when you're thinking about social media posts?
I have graphic design background.
You do, yeah. So for you, you're like, oh, I can envision what a post should look like and what kind of images I want to use. Yeah, and you're a photographer, so you just have an eyeball for things anyway. But not everyone has that. Not everyone has that skill, and sometimes the idea of not just putting text out, but maybe doing something that's going to be eye-catching can be overwhelming for people. Especially if it requires the use of a tool that's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Like sometimes the Adobe stuff is very expensive. It's a monthly subscription right now. If you forget about it, like me, at the end of the year, you're like, holy cow, I just spent so much money on something that I've used maybe twice all year long. But if you have not already used Canva, have any of you used Canva?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just super easy to use, free. If you've used it, you probably love it. This makes building social media content a whole lot easier. Very eye-catching, very easy.
There are also some free, you don't have to log in, AI, image generators out there too.
Hmm.
And I've also used for actually district, social media for Roundtable. Those are fun.
Yes.
Photoshop, if you have an Adobe subscription, I have Photoshop and Lightroom that I subscribe to every month because
Mhm.
photography. But Photoshop also has a really nice AI program and I've switched over to using that one.
Oh,
But
good.
there are some free ones. Yeah, it's really cool because you can put in there, same as you can do on the, free ones online. But you can put in what you want your image to look like and it does it for you and you tell it like whether you want like bright light or watercolor or, whatever. It's fun to play around with. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there now.
Oh, AI is like, it's life-changing in very many ways. And in fact, if you haven't used it yet, what I use it for the most these days is I will write out copy and then I'll read it 100 times. And I'm like, I know that this could be written in a way that is far more effective than what I'm coming up with here. And I will paste it into ChatGPT and ask it, like, can you improve upon this? How can I make this a little bit more professional or a little bit more exciting? And then you have to say, please don't put 8 million emojis in it because it loves an emoji. But it really does help with content creation. You just have to be careful not to rely on it a little too hard. But yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's also a very useful tool. If you feel like you're not able to um, write something in the way that it's not coming out the way you want it to, yeah, drop what you've got into ChatGPT or something and ask it for some help, and it will give you really great tips and advice. And if it's like 6 o'clock in the morning and you haven't had your coffee yet, you can be like, hey man, just write this for me. And it will. And it's totally fine. You can do that for social media. Absolutely. Feel free. To make your life easier, do it. All right. So what makes a good post? Engaging content. We've talked about all of this stuff, but this is that post I was telling you about the Scouts in Longwood. Yeah, so Longwood University shared this awesome picture on their website and this nice little quote from these guys, and they met as Cub Scouts and then went all the way through the program, became Eagles, and went off to college, and now they room together this year. It's just a nice post about these two guys. So it's engaging content. We've got a couple of hashtags, nothing too serious. And just this great picture that Longwood had on their website, and it just makes for the perfect post. If you are on our Heart of Virginia Council Facebook page yesterday, Mark Larson shared with me a beautiful photograph of a couple of, or I'm sorry, of some some female scouts, ooh, and some Cub Scouts, some arrows of light. I'm trying to open it and it's not opening. Oh no. Anyway, you'll have to check it out. Just look for us. We're scouting at Scouting VA on Facebook, and it had the same effect. It just has gone over very, very well. It's a beautiful photograph. It's fun content. It's just good stuff. So check that out. I'm sorry.
Is that $7.99 with the pumpkins?
Yeah, it's the best. It's just the best picture. When I saw it, I got very excited. I was like, Mark, this is perfect, perfect picture. And just a great content. They're out doing a service project. They're selling pumpkins for their chartered organization, and they've got both the pack and the troop coming together, and it's a brand new troop. It's just fantastic. Go see it and then go love it and share it. That's what we're supposed to do. So if you're feeling up to it, I've got this scouting social media 30-day social media challenge, because social media does happen. Scouting happens every day. And does your community near you know about it? Do they know the good stuff that you're doing? Do they know about the service projects and the cool stuff that you're doing in your unit? No, then let's change it. So if you don't already have a successful social media program going on for your unit, then let's do this for 30 days and see what happens. We're going to post at least once a week using your unit's social media, Facebook, Instagram, both, whichever. Feature real scouts doing cool scout things like camping, Pinewood Derby, community service, having fun at their unit meetings, things like that. Again, keeping in mind which scouts do and do not wish to be photographed. Include a call to action, like, do you want to join the fun? Visit beascout.org. Or what were you doing this weekend? Leave us a photo in the comments or tell us in the comments, that kind of a thing. And also let's try out some hashtags. So make sure that you include at least the hashtag HOVC challenge so that we can all kind of keep an eye on what's going on with those posts that you're making. Super extra bonus, if you tag your district or your council page. So of course we're at Scouting VA, easy. Use an official Scouting America hashtag like Scouting America, Cub Scouts, Scout Me In, things like that. Share a short video or even a photo album of the event that you're spotlighting. And maybe even consider something like highlighting a scout. Do you have a brand new Eagle in your unit, or a scout that has just earned a brand new rank? That's a cool thing to highlight. Do you have a volunteer that's going above and beyond, like a parent that helps all the time? They're setting up and taking down every meeting, or a leader that is just putting together and executing the perfect program. Those kinds of things. Let's get those out there. And also, if you're going to highlight a scout on a public facing page, just first name only is fine. Don't use a last name. If you feel like if it's two Connors, then you can use, last initial, but just for their privacy and their safety on social media, let's not use a last name. And oh, this page is so important. Okay, so it's a lot of information, but these are some really great additional resources for you to use to make the most of your social media. Some of these I had throughout the presentation. So the social media playbook slide deck is fantastic. Scouting Wire social media guidelines are awesome. This digital design system, and let me know if the screen changes or if it just stays on my presentation. Did it change?
It did.
Okay, so this digital design system is so cool. It has all of our colors, and then it kind of goes through the style guide that Scouting
Nice.
America prefers. Yeah.
That makes
Um,
it easier.
That is
Oh, you got backgrounds too?
Yeah, well, and I'll show you something else here in just a second as well that I'm sure you all have at least looked at. This is great. I have this bookmarked, and I have a color picking tool on add-on tool, since I'm doing graphic design stuff all day long, and I just come and pick up these colors, or I use these hex codes to design things. This has made life a lot easier. It's pretty great.
Yes, it is.
Yes, so grab that. And then, if you're a pack, if you have a Cub Scout unit and you want a nice little logo for some of your promotions, this is shameless. This is my own blog here, and I made this, but it is a Canva template. That's just a free little template. You can go on and make yourself an image like this for your pack. Really easy. Use it. It's free. Just grab it. Other great things, QR Code Monkey makes these fancy QR codes for you free of charge. This bit.ly URL shortener will take a big long URL. For instance, this slideshow presentation is not a fancy, neat little bit.ly/scout social media. It's about 72 different consonants in a row. So it's very helpful for promotional flyers and things like that, where maybe you have a presentation like this or a Zoom URL or something that you want to make a little prettier and easier to remember. Bitly is a great resource. Have you all been to the brand center?
Nope.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to open this up too because this thing, okay, this brand center is a lifesaver. For instance, like I was just saying, if you've got scouts that do not want their picture taken, it's okay. If you have a Cub Scout, you can just come in here, go to photos. I'm sorry, Cub Scout unit, go to photos. What are you gonna do? Okay, we're gonna go fishing. Let me build a promotion about fishing. There's so many photographs and they're updating it all the time, and these are free for us to use.
This will be very helpful.
It,
Thank you.
yes, of course, you're welcome. It's fantastic. And the good thing is for a long time it was like all boys, which is fine. But they've gone out of their way to add girls into this website as well. So it's great. And oftentimes you'll see like, okay, this picture's all, look at these kids. They're so cute. But you'll get them too where it's mixed unit, you'll get boys and girls. So they've got promotions for pretty much everybody or photographs for pretty much everybody. I mean, look, come on now. It's so cute. But again, they have them for every program. So the Scouts BSA has really fantastic photos that you can choose from, Explorer posts, things like that. Lots and lots of corporate materials are also in here. Hey, get your uniform at the Scout Shop, 10% off right now. Everything that you could possibly imagine is in here. It's a really fantastic resource for you. And again, it's just free. They just give it to you. So make sure you check that out and use that. And then this is the recruitment center that I had sort of told you a little bit about. It has some materials in here. This is the brand center link, which is what I was just showing you, the social media calendar. Excuse me, my throat hurts, so I apologize. Some of the more recent recruitment webinars, things like that are all here. It's also a great page. Really, really great resource. So this page is my favorite slide in the whole deck, because this is your life-saving toolkit right here.
Mhm.
Rebecca,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
I just jump in for a second and say,
Mhm.
I know this isn't social media related,
Mhm.
but what I have found through there and am using right now with our Beth Bahaba pack and troop, actually I'm using it with the troop right now especially, is that they have templates for trifold brochures.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, which are awesome because they have for scouts, for the troops, they have boy brochures and girl brochures, so,
Nice.
they've already got it pre-done. And the back of the trifold brochure is actually customizable. So you can fill in your information there, but the rest of it is already pre-filled. And then you just print it, fold it, and there's your recruitment, that you can hand out at your table or whatever you're doing.
So the girls-
Easy stuff.
Right?
Yeah,
Because I'm still,
troops,
okay.
as of right now, we'll see what happens with the pilot programs and what the
Oh.
decisions are soon.
I just
They
have
also have
Cubs,
Cub
yeah,
Scouts
we
too.
still haven't combined, but yeah,
Okay, Yeah.
forgot about that.
yeah,
Hmm.
so they have it separated, but it's awesome. Very easy to use.
Yeah. And if you need a tutorial on it, they have just a real brief, like, here's what these customizable templates are, sort of video, but they are just very straightforward, easy to use. And you just click on it and you can download it from here. They're
Mhm.
great. They're real good. Yes. You guys have any questions? Anything that you have done with your social media that you have felt has been super successful and should be shared?
Not successful at all. No, this is actually gonna help. This is
No.
kind of what I was looking for, is if there was an easier way to get things done a little quicker and still be precise and accurate about what we're doing.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And the good news is that you've got a bunch of people in scouting that are pretty well versed in this, myself included. My email address is up there in the corner of that presentation. If you ever have a question about anything or need help about anything, I'm our council communications person. So, and I'm a district commissioner and a unit commissioner. Like I wear a bunch of hats and they're all communications based. So if you need anything, you can just reach out to me anytime.
Okay.
That's
Thank
what
you.
that's
Appreciate it.
that's what we're here for.